It's your girl, the grown woman gamer, coming back with another fire commentary. So we're all watching this Lakers fiasco, seeing the Lakers break down. Lonzo's still injured. He's not playing, and he's not going to be back for at least another week. And that's kind of unusual because we kind of thought that he would have been back maybe about a week ago. Understandably, he had a bad injury, but I have to wonder whether or not him prolonging his recovery has something to do with his father knowing that the writing again is on the wall, and his son is probably going to be traded at the end of the season. So is the Lakers season salvageable at this point? As much as I do have a lot of faith in the greatness of LeBron James, I don't think so. And that comes from the top down. And by the top, I mean Luke Walton. Luke Walton seems very checked out. If I was him, why would I care about taking the Lakers to a playoffs and ultimately attempting at some type of a championship run when I know that at the end of the season I'm definitely getting fired? He meaning LeBron James, and Luke Walton, it doesn't seem like they're getting along. And when you see the body language, the way that LeBron speaks to him, the other players on the team, the way that they respond to him, he's lost the respect of the team. He's definitely lost control of the team. And everyone on that team looks like they're mentally on guard. And what I mean is they're not ready to really receive instruction. They're not looking to anyone to lead. They're trying to just get through it. And when you're on a professional sports team and you're not mentally engaged, it's impossible to do things that take a certain type of mental engagement, like theorize about how to win, work together as a team to beat teams that are going to present a challenge. And that whole thing with Anthony Davis really did break this team down. And after everything played out, somebody had to step in and kind of corral the players, get them all on the same page to try to make this run. If I was Magic Johnson, I would simply sit LeBron James at this point. And the reason why is because why risk injury when you're not going to make the playoffs? And even if you do make the playoffs, you're probably going to face a Golden State team that's completely healthy and that's going to run right through you. And that would simply be one more mar on LeBron James' legacy. It's kind of unfortunate that there's all this pressure put on this one man who does have some help, because Brandon Ingram, he's playing pretty well. Kuzma plays well sometimes he doesn't play well. Rondo, Hart, Caldwell Pope, now Reggie Bullock. These guys are consistent. Let's not use the word consistent. They're not consistent. They're good sometimes, great sometimes, average most of the time. There's no reason whatsoever for them to continue to play LeBron James for the rest of the season, because the playoffs are not going to happen for them. And if I eat my words, so be it, but I just don't see it. I really don't. But those are two things I would do. I mean, you have to get rid of Luke Walton, just because once a group of men lose respect for their coach and see that he does not have the balls to step to the strongest, most dominant alpha male in the room, aka LeBron James, then it's not going to work out for that coach. If you go back to the Cleveland Cavaliers, there was a moment when Tyronn Lue basically had to tell LeBron James to sit down and shut up. I'm the coach. And from that moment on, they won. And the reason why is because although Tyronn Lue would glean wisdom and knowledge and information from LeBron and gave him a platform to really support the team and be a leader, he let him know, I coach this team. And Luke Walton is not, maybe he doesn't have that type of bone in his body, but if he came out and he showed everybody in that room that I got this, I'm running this team, I am smart enough to do this, I'm strong enough to do this, then and to create some order, then maybe things would not be going the way that they're going. And I understand that Jeannie Buss, the woman that owns this team, she's basically committed to him for the rest of the season. But we know he's gone. Like, they might give it 48 hours after the season's over, but he's out the door. We'll see who comes in behind him. Hopefully it's someone that is strong enough to lead a team with LeBron James on it. Now, as far as this free agency at the end of the season, If I was Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, some of these players that will have the opportunity to leave the teams that they're on and come join LeBron at the Lakers, I would think twice about it. Partly because of the way he's handling things. And I've already said, I really love LeBron James. He's my favorite basketball player. And it's not just because of the player that he is, it's because of the type of person that he is and some of the wonderful things he's done off the court and the way he supports people that are in need. And that aside, because you can't shake a fist at that, so be it. He's shown himself to be a decent philanthropic person. But on the floor, as a basketball player, he's doing good. He's doing above average. He always does. But some of the ways in which he's talking after the games, when he's being interviewed, it is pointing the finger at his teammates, and that is not helpful. It's not going to be productive. It's not going to motivate anyone, especially if these younger players already feel some type of way because they hold him responsible for what was happening at the trade deadline. If I was him, maybe he has already done this. You got to sit down and talk with people and be more honest and just say that this is an opportunity for everyone to benefit if they win, and they need to come together and figure out how to win. And if he knows that his teammates don't have respect for Luke Walton, that's a cross they have to bear right now. If he respects Luke Walton, then everybody else will sort of fall in line, is my feeling about it. But the things that he's saying, it's not showing that he has that type of respect. And maybe it's just that it's too hard for him to be not dishonest, but to kind of hold his tongue. Some players would just say something more hard to read. Like Kevin Durant is great at that. When they ask him certain types of questions, he's really good at saying things that don't say anything at all. Whereas LeBron, he'll say things and it's very pointed. He will point the finger at the coach, point the finger sometimes even at the management, point the finger at other players. And in the past, when watching him in interviews, sometimes he's been more willing to accept blame for himself. The easiest thing to do in order to not create a rift between yourself and your teammates is just to accept the blame. There's nothing, even if you're not wrong, you can say, hey, it was me, I gotta do better. And what are people gonna say to that except, okay, he acknowledges that he has to do better, and then they move on. But when you say things like, Giannis Antetokounmpo has this amazing supporting cast, and I kind of saying, and I don't, then again, your teammates, it's like they're getting punched in the chin over and over and over again, and you're expecting them to get back up and want to help the person who's punching them in the chin. And I don't think that's the way men are built. Men are going to look at that like, okay, this dude, he's not feeling me. I don't care about going to a championship. This team has already basically taken a dump on me. I'm out anyway. Why would I help him? It's important to him, but it might not be that important to them. Anyway, so those are the two things that I think they need to do. They really need to get rid of Luke Walton, and they need to probably bench LeBron James for the rest of the season. Will that mean that they make the playoffs? No. But will it mean that they protect the asset that they do have while they figure out how to rebuild this team? Yes, and that at this point is the most important thing. Anyway, this is the Grown Woman Gamer checking out. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Twitter at Grown Woman Gamer.